The first course video, I showed you how to set up your VS Code and your XAMPP. Now, I have my XAMPP turned on. I'm going to my browser, and then in this bar, not the white one, not this one, we're going to type local. If you see this, what is on my screen right now, it means that you have successfully downloaded PHP. I mean, XAMPP. Why did I say it like that? So now the next step is to know how to access your works and where to place your works. So basically, wherever you've saved your XAMPP folder, if you chose to save it where it's normally saved, so you go there. I have mine here. Then you go to this file, htdocs. This is where all your works will be. Whatever you do, this is where you access it. Htdocs. Click on it. Then you create a new folder. These ones I made them, this one and this one I made them for work I did myself. Maybe some of them you have them because I made some of them on this one. But just create a new folder. So it will be PHP crash course. No, not crash course. Let's change it. PHP course. So when you do that, you're going to put your work here. So when you go to your Visual Studio Code and you set it up, you can get a video like that on YouTube. You press open folder, then you go to local disk, then XAMPP, and then htdocs. Yep. And then PHP beginner course, select folder. That's where you make your work. So, yes, I trust. So now we're going to create a file. So we are going to start our work. So we'll create a file. It's called PHP. In that file, we're going to put the work. Or first, what should I teach you first? Embedding PHP in HTML. So that's what I'm going to first teach you. What I just went from is my scheme of what I will be teaching you. It's extremely long. If we check, there are 41 different ones. So you're going to be learning all of these, and I hope you have fun. So after this part, where we go to PHP built-in functions, then when we reach database, that's the intermediate part. So there'll be another place, so 6 works. Usually there'll be like 4 works or 24 videos. I want you to study on them, and we also have practice sessions where you will be able to enjoy the fun of using PHP. So let's go. So the first thing I'm going to teach you is embedding PHP in HTML. So once you've created your file, we are going to use our file HTML underscore embed dot php. So this is how it will be. If since you're using Visual Studio Code, we are going to just use this exclamation mark one and then enter. We have all of this. If you want to take it up a notch, we'll just type in HTML. Yep, can do the same. But the exclamation mark will be better, so we are done. Now, let me just create a save as. Let's pick up. Do we really need a save as? No, we don't. Then, for me, I would like my work to be a little dark, so like go style, body, background. I really don't know the heck for this. I think like it is. So, so I'm going to show you how to show your work. So when you go to HT Docs in the XAMPP folder, there's how they call it. This folder where you saved your work. You are going to take the name, then come here. Where you've done your local post, if you see this, remove the dashboard, keep the slash. So it's going to be like a forward slash p, spell it exactly like how it was on this line, the top one, PHP, like how you made it. Sometimes it don't work. Oh, nice, it works. So that's all. Local slash PHP beginner course. You forget about this 20%, like it will come and then you don't need to add that. So that's why your work will be shown. So if you turn off your computer, the example turn off. So every time you turn on and then you want to use it, you turn on your XAMPP. Now, this is where you are going to be doing our work. We are going to do it in Visual Studio Code. Now, we have our PHP. So, inside our PHP, we are going to use some tags, special tags. They are the PHP tags. We'll put them inside the HTML works. I butchered some of my words, so sorry for that. PHP, yep. Then we go to the bottom of wherever I want it, and then like this. We really don't need all these lines because all I'm teaching you is how to embed PHP. So this all this first one is. But just for good measure, I want to teach you about dynamic text. So in programming, we have something called variables. Now, variables basically store information that we can use anytime we want. So according to the Gemini AI, a variable in programming is a memory location that stores a value that can change. So an example of this value could be if I created a variable it with dollar name because I'll show you how to do this. So that's my name. So I can change this value anytime. So if I go echo, I'm going to teach you all of this, so don't worry. Dollar name. This is what you see in our work. When I reload Jaden, that's the name we had there. So I'm going to show you how to use variables. Variables work like this. Before you start every variable, we are going to put the dollar sign behind it, and then we'll put whatever variable we want. What do we want to call it? So maybe dollar name, like I did before. Now every variable has to be defined, or else you are going to have an error. So let's just say I try to pull uh bring this out as in words. So in PHP, in order to bring out words, like in order to make a sentence, whatever, kind of like just quick speech, any speech that does not involve doing programming. I mean, like, how do I explain it? It's a function, it's called echo. You know how you echo into the air. So that's just the speech. And then, so whenever you do an echo, you do inverted commas, the double ones, and then you put in whatever you want to enter. So my name is Jaden. Then whenever you are done, you put in a semicolon in order to show Zamp that you are done with your work, so that Zamp will understand that this line of code is finished. Now go on to the now run the next one. If so, when I put echo name is Jaden, it will show my name is Jaden. So echo basically just show displays text, and in data types, text are this is not actually a text, it's called a string. Yep, string. So according to Gemini AI, it's a data type that represents a sequence of characters or symbols as a single unit. So your string could be anything, you can put anything inside, such as text or code, but in PHP it's mainly text unless you're using variables. Now I want to show you how to use variables in order to echo words. So for echoing anything that doesn't need variables, you just do echo echo, then your double inverted commas, and then I am Jaden or whatever you want to put there. So you can have fun with it, do anything. Now, if we were to put echo dollar name, so whenever we want to echo out a variable, we don't put in the inverted commas or else it will not work. So, or sometimes you get an error. So, you want to play on the safe side and then do it without inverted commas. So, go echo dollar name. Make sure that your variable matches to the one that is on top. Then inverted commas. If I do this, I am 100% sure I'm going to get an error. Yes, undefined variable. Every variable has to be defined or has to be defined, or else it's basically useless because there's no use in it. And as soon as you call it in order to be used, you're going to get an error. So maybe we do name equals Jaden. Now, if we were to do a variable and then we are coming for number in PHP, if when you are using numbers, you do not put them in inverted commas, or they'll be thought of as strings. But I want them to be thought of as their data type, which is integer. So if I was putting something like age, I'm putting in a number. So instead of I am 13 years old. Instead of putting it in inverted commas, I would, instead of putting it in inverted commas, I will put it in just like that. Now, if I was to do echo age, it will work. So we want to break up this piece. And if you've done HTML, you know that when you want to break things, you put in the tag then BR. But that's not how it work in PHP. Or else I'm sure you get an error. Yep, error. So you basically, when you want to call in HTML functions in PHP, like in the PHP tags, you do echo, then put in the string, so it's going to be a string. But put the semicolon outside. You know this thing, the dot and then the comma, and then it will work. So it separates them. Now, even though it works when I put the number in inverted commas, if you are doing something like mass, it is not going to work. Like, look, let's do mass. Let's do mass, some normal mass. Dollar age plus, plus dollar age. All right, instead of doing the numbers, we just do n- like last. So we've not reached that part, so I think I have to go over it because something wrong is happening. So that's the thing. But when it comes to math, you should not put numbers in as strings. So in the inverted commas, you just want it like that. So this is how it will work. That's basically variables in PHP.